Anonymous is saying, why do you think U.S. invaded Iraq? What were they really aiming for, in your opinion? Well, hi. What were they really aiming for? Oh my God, this is going to be such a cliche answer. Expanding their influence and the influence of the, oh my God, this is such a lefty cliche answer, but it's the best answer I could give. Is like the industrial, weapon industry. It's the weapons industry's lobbying and access to more influence in the Middle East and securing supplies of, I don't know, gas and oil and stuff like that. Sometimes the people who are giving you answers like this, I know like everything is always blamed on these things all too often, but sometimes the answer is correct. That is the answer, right? And again, these intentions might not work directly in the minds of the politicians, right? Like, for example, the politicians who are passing the laws or like are in charge might genuinely be like, no, we're like, I'm actually think there's WMDs, or I don't know, like I'm actually think that Saddam is bad enough that this was a good decision. But the way things work is like sometimes the policies that actually benefits the people, the right people that it needs to benefit for something to go through, just get a lot of more support, even if the people involved in making those decisions were not aligned exactly with those motivations. It's just the people with different motivations that happen to come up with conclusions that aligns with enough interest groups that gets their motivations, that responds to their motivation. So for example, let's say you have this powerful entity A and powerful entity B and powerful entity C. They want certain policies to go through, okay? Politician Z is pushing for the same thing, but maybe for some other reasons, right? However, powerful group A, B, and C, who have different motivations, make sure politician Z gets to do what he wants to do because it just aligns with what they want. Even though like maybe the politician even sometimes is being honest about his motivations not being those things, the fact is that he's finding it easy to get those policies pushed through because there's just enough powerful groups that are just paving the way for him. Does that make sense? So so I'm not like trying to come up with, trying to guess people's motivation. Like I can't read people's minds. A lot of people just seem to like know what people's. Actually, this is a problem with this question, right? You can't know people's motivations, right? The only thing you could observe is the alignment of certain policies with what is in the best interest of certain groups that constantly keeps happening, okay? So I'm not trying to read people's minds. I'm just acknowledging that these groups who would benefit from this seem to keep getting things keep getting things their way. Do you understand? Does that make sense, right? It's just an observation. And this is not just an observation where, for example, I'm just like connecting dots. I'm seeing patterns and I'm connecting dots that are not there. Right? These are based on like studies, right? For example, we can see that, powerful lobbying groups have more of a say in what policies are getting passed, sometimes, not always, than the people's desires who actually vote for the politicians. That's not always the case, but in certain situations it is. At some point, if some policy is so much against the will of the people, then a politician, for the saving their own career, might bend to the will of the people. Like, for example, pulling out of Afghanistan, right? But many times that doesn't work. Many times, people want something, but there are other powers at play. I mean, at this. Oh, by the way, the most easiest explanation for why politicians do what they want to do. I mean, Occam's razor. I'm not reading people's minds. I'm just applying Occam's razor. Is just to keep their job, right? Keeping their job and just remaining for the politician to just keep the position that they have, right? That's just the most simple explanation for anything they do. However, that what leads to them keeping their job will sometimes be giving into the will of the electorate, the people who vote for them and keep them in power, but also sometimes and often giving into the will of the people who donate to their campaigns, right? And these are competing sources of influence.
Hey guys, if you're a fan of Blasphemy and Sexy Callie, like me, then you need to be sure to subscribe to our newsletter, link in the description below. Because if you subscribe, we will send you a free copy of our Blasphemous Art ebook. And let me tell you, it is the tastiest blasphemy that you can find anywhere available today. And we are so generous with our blasphemy that we continue to send you more blasphemy every week. So make sure to subscribe, link in the description below.